defend themselves. As of late, considering when I went to Ireland, people were dogging us and making fun of Trump and saying we shouldn't have guns and you guys are pussies.
Yeah.
That's what was happening only a couple months ago when we were there.
Yeah, it's only from women though.
Yeah, I know.
So at the same time, I was hearing a goddamn trombone with a sock in it. What you say there?
The one with the tongue that's out the end of the horn.
Yep. Yeah.
The cartoon horn. But anyway, that's what's going on with that.
Yeah, there's so what you're saying is that there's allegedly there's
some pushback.
I guess
finally
you could call it populist uprising. I don't know if that's the exact term for it, or the uprising of people who have been stepped on and downtrodden and genocided and ethnically cleansed, etc.
They're finally
those who are being ethnically cleansed.
Well, I mean, what do they call it? The Great Takeover or something like that? What's it called?
The replacement.
Great Replacement, right?
It was a conspiracy, yeah. Now, we've known this for many, many, many years. There was a handful of years ago, I remember old classic Pat, he was passing around Camp of the Saints and all that stuff. And we were all like, oh my God. Like, we all know what's happening. But if at a certain point, if politics is completely locked down, if you mention any of that stuff, like it's over for you. And then you really can't say anything about anything to anybody.
Well, the only thing I have an issue with is they only bring this up, this unifying event, London streets, 100,000, let's defend ourselves. But they said 2 weeks prior to that, we are the minority. Why would you wait? Why would you wait to get to that point? Basically saying...
It's not a choice. You get slowed down by the media and by everything around you.
Don't you see it coming?
No, everyone around you tells you it's not coming and that you're crazy. And all your teachers and all this and that, they're like this. No, it's a no. Everyone, the news, the movies, the TV, music, all your life tells you that whatever you're seeing with your eyes is not happening.
But do you think that...
That's a big spell.
Do you think anything changed from when you were not outnumbered 30% to now you're outnumbered 60%? You really think it changed that much in the streets of what was happening to the public where they weren't waking up?
Yes, much has changed, but there was a delayed response in people understanding that a generation of warfare was waged on them that was invisible and quiet and unspoken and gaslighted, like people would tell you it's not happening. Mm-hmm. And it took a generation after 9/11, after 08, and our entire generation gets out of college. There's nothing already. There's nothing, and this isn't even counting the replacement that my dad was telling about back in the 80s and the 90s. Where they were like this, you could stay on, but you got to train replacements for people you're working with. He's like, nah, I'm out of here. This was in the 80s. So I've known about this for my whole life. But it takes a delayed amount of time because of the anti-life equation that surrounds you with education and media and TV and music and everything around you and the women.
And it only gets worse and worse every generation, right?
Yeah.
It's pumped harder and harder and harder.
But the generation didn't know. They just thought they were the losers. But all the while, it was the visas that were replacing every industry of some of certain people from certain places, and from other people from certain places, foreigners, and it was that happening, and everything just gaslighted everyone, and people blamed themselves or blamed other things,
or I can't do anything about it,
or I can't do anything about it. This is sophisticated demoralization campaign and warfare. This is very scary and very brutal to live through, as you feel.
I feel it. It's scary.
Yes, you can feel it because you know, me and you and other people of certain type in a certain place, you can feel that there are your inferiors that want you dead. And
you say that, and I believe it. And that's my issue with it. Is you and I come from.
I don't like that. I don't like the subversion of justice. I like justice.
Right. Well, without it, you're screwed.
I can't live without it.
So, that's what's scary about it to me is. You and I come from a religious background where I don't want anybody that doesn't believe what I believe to die.
Yes.
But there are religions that do.
And it's a hard thing to cope with because even your education in Roman Catholicism has made you blind to the fact that people actually want you dead and would kill you and whatever.
You're right.
They
matter of fact,
blind to it because they were too old to know that it's coming.
I never knew it.
Never knew it.
I never knew it. I was never taught it.
No. Well, we were taught learned helplessness and suicide. That's what we were taught.
But how many times have you heard, like, love your enemy?
I've honestly heard it from people that I despise.
So,
if there was a table, I'd flip it over if I could go back to Catholic school and church. If there was a table, I would have flipped it over and fucking, well...
I've heard it a million times.
Let me ask you this.
Matter of fact, I thought it was the way to go.
Yep,
Our religious background, is that the
mainly
only...